What's going on, y'all, man? Welcome back to the episode. We got a special, obviously, pod for you guys for tonight, man. We're working on Symone Stanley, man. She does a whole bunch of stuff all around the way, man. HBCU game day. Obviously, she does Eagles with Lord Brunson, man. She's a well-established journalist, not just journalist, but content creator and creative here in the space, man. So we're just going to pick her brain, talk about latest projects she's working on, and obviously talk some Philly football, too. So without further ado, let's bring her on.
What's up? Thanks for having me. You know, LB?
Yeah, I know. My dad's a big fan of yours, so sometimes we be watching the content together.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
He's an Eagles fan?
He's a big Eagles fan.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, he told me to tell you, Symone. He said he really likes your I don't want to call it a catchphrase, but he was like when you go, she.
That's what everybody says. I got that from my dad. He be saying that.
Okay. So that's just to kind of like taper down, just the cussing or whatever. Just kind of
right. Got to keep it clean,
Right. Okay. All right. So I just want you to talk just a little bit about just your fandom, Symone, a little bit. Just when did you become a Eagles fan? Like, kind of how did that process start for you?
Yeah. So this is obviously one of my frequently asked questions. So my family's actually from DC. But a lot of my family members are Eagles fans, like the old heads in my family, because they were saying, like, before national television, all they had was local TV. So pretty much only thing that came on was the NFC East games, because that's what was in their market. So a lot of them were just Eagles fans by proximity. So yeah, I gravitated toward the Eagles as a kid, like a lot of my favorite family members that I looked up to were Eagles fans. So that's really how it happened.
Okay, and then walk me through like your first Philly game. You in person, Lincoln Financial Field, the experience, the environment. What was that like?
Which one? My first, because my first Eagles games were always on the road because I would have to go in DC. You know what I mean? But they would come to the Commander Stadium. So, but my first game, it was a lot of fun. I had been to a couple of NFL games before I went to the first Eagles game. So I kind of was familiar with the environment, but it was a lot of fun. We had a big tailgate. My birthday is it was actually the first game of the season that year. And my birthday is September 5th. So the NFL always usually kicks off either on my birthday or somewhere around there. So like at our tailgate, because my family had a tailgate, we had like a birthday cake with my name on it, all that. So it was a lot of fun. And then of course I have a lot of Commanders fans in my family. So we were like split at the tailgate. So it was a lot of fun for that first game.
Okay, super cool. And then obviously I believe you were at the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken, when I seen from your content. So just what was that experience like? You obviously played the Chiefs, won the game, won pretty handily. I think you flew out there. Just talk about your experiences covering the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so that was my first. I didn't go to the actual game. I did cover it that week with Meta. So I do a lot of work with Meta. So that was a lot of fun. Got to, do the stuff leading up to the game. I really wish I should have went to the game. Couldn't justify obviously spending that money. But I feel like we're gonna go back to back. So next year, I'll be in there. But it was a lot of fun. Got to watch the game with a lot of my friends. I live in Atlanta now, but I have like a group of Eagles fans in Atlanta that I'm real close with now. So it was a lot of fun watching the game with them. Obviously being able to, be emotional and stuff, because I can be emotional sometimes when I'm watching the game. But being in New Orleans, it was a lot of fun doing Radio Row and like the interviews leading up to the Super Bowl. So that was my first time even doing like Radio Row and like media leading up to the Super Bowl in New Orleans. So that was a lot of fun, great experience, met a lot of people, reconnected with a lot of people. So it was cool.
For sure. And then I got to get your intel, just your thoughts about just the draft, who y'all got. I was telling my pops was a big fan. I feel like y'all nailed it. You can't get much better with Najeh Campbell, obviously. Landing some of these elite players. Smile Monday is another good one. But just what's your thoughts on the draft?
Of course, I'm going to give us an A on the draft. I feel like that's biased. But at the same time, like how he has done such a great job drafting these last couple of seasons, that I feel like he should already go in, with the benefit of the doubt with an A+ draft. You know what I mean? Until he proves that he's not an A+ drafter, which he has been for the last seasons. But first two picks, we get immediate starters if everything goes right. Like Nakobe Dean, he's hurt right now. He's going to miss the start of the season with the injury that he got last season. So Najeh Campbell, best player available, had to trade up one spot for him, but he's somebody that can come in, play inside while Nakobe Dean is hurt, but he can also, be a pass rusher as well. Something that we need too, because we lost Josh Sweat and Brandon Graham retired. So Jihad is like the perfect versatile piece right there. He's grew up an Eagles fan. He's real confident. Some people will say cocky, but he's confident. So the vibe is just right there. I like our number 2 pick, Makuba Andrew out of Texas. Perfect replacement. If we have to replace CJ he's amazing in coverage. He's a little bit smaller, but CJ was small too. And he's a hit stick. Just the only downside is him being smaller, but we've had smaller safeties before, and that all worked out. So I feel like first 2 picks, we get guys that can come in and start. Ty Robinson, that's the guy I'm really kind of excited about because he's kind of, later round pick, doesn't get as much hype. But, he had 6 sacks last season at Nebraska as a defensive tackle. He had like 20 QB hurries. He was number 1 at the defensive tackle position for QB hurries. So having somebody, obviously with Milton Williams gone, that can come in, rotate with Jalen Carter and provide some pressure on the inside. Then we pick up the 5th-year option for Jordan Davis. So we still have our run stopper. And then we have like that all-around defensive tackle that can kind of step in with Milton Williams gone. So I think that's going to be a good rotation, like Ty and Jalen Carter. Like that's going to be crazy because now we got 2 guys that can rush the passer from the inside. So I feel like Ty is one I'm really excited about. We got a bunch of offensive linemen, of course. Smile Munden, that's a guy, we got to get a Bulldog. So Smile is the guy. He already has a relationship with a lot of the guys on the team. He said Nakobe Dean was the first person he called when he got drafted. So joining, the Philly Dogs brotherhood. And with him being a linebacker too, like Vic Fangio, he does great with linebackers. So even though, he was a later round guy, like that doesn't matter with Vic Fangio. So I'm excited to see him, work with Vic. And then our last pick, Antoine Powell Ryland, he has 16 sacks at Virginia Tech. I know our last pick, we get him in the 6th round, but I'm saying like, some of the stuff you can't change. And getting to a quarterback, that don't matter like where you get picked. Like we know he can do it and he can do it at a high level. It's just going to be all about, transitioning to the NFL level. But we put a big focus on pass rushers through free agency and through the draft. So I feel like we're going to be good. Offense completely intact. Lost Mekhi Becton. Going to miss him. But, like, the offensive line for the past couple of seasons been plug and play. Like, so it's no reason to sweat losing Mekhi Becton when any guy Stoutland says is ready is always ready. So we returned 10 out of our 11 starters on offense. So feeling great there. And then defense, I feel like we loaded up. So I feel good.
There you have it, man. Hey, full breakdown. Obviously, Eagles fan. I mean, the knowledge that you got just about the whole team, I commend you, it's great. And I just want to transition. Just how are you able to do it, Symone? I mean, you're an expert with covering the Eagles. You do the high school with Roz, which I'll actually about here in a little bit. You do HBCU game day. Just how are you so knowledgeable in just covering all those different realms?
Really, just doing work nonstop. Obviously, it comes easy with the Eagles because that's something I'm passionate about. So, like, even if I wasn't doing content, that's something that I would still be like consuming. So, it comes natural. Obviously, with the Eagles, obviously doing content, you got to do a little bit. I have to do like a little bit more, covering than I would just be as a fan. But even before content, like I always stay like fully tapped in with what the Eagles got going on. So that was kind of like a seamless transition. But with everything else, I mean, honestly, it's just you just staying on it. Literally, always got to be working.
Facts. And then I want to pick your brain about just the high school realm and hoops. You've been doing that for quite a while with Rogers. What's your thoughts currently right now with some of the rankings? I don't know if you see ESPN, but obviously Benton Louiscano, he got ranked. You obviously, you had AJ Williams in 2027. You got guys like Nas Anderson, Jarvis Haynes Jr., Chase Lumpkin. Just what's your thoughts on just the talent pool in Georgia?
I feel like the talent pool is so high. That's why I really like Rise. I wasn't really tapped into high school basketball before I started working with Rise, but it's just so much fun. It's so exciting because like the guys, they're always playing like at a high level. Like the intensity is always there. So it's really exciting because they're so athletic because they're so young and they're like every game they're like headhunting, and it's just like a lot of excitement. So that definitely keeps me energized. Like when I'm doing Rise, is like the energy that the players have. But the talent pool, I mean, lately in Georgia it's been really good. I feel like we had the last couple years, we've had like those 2 or 3 or 1 big name guys that's like, you know, expected lottery picks that's really been like carrying. But I really liked it how like this past high school season, it wasn't like that one guy or those 1 or 2 guys. Like it was really balanced, you know what I mean? Because a lot of teams were balanced, even though they didn't have like those big national names, in my opinion, like that we've had in the seasons prior. I liked it because I feel like that kept it more competitive. But no, like you said, like you mentioned, like Jarvis Hayes Jr., I think he's one of them ones. He's really good. Like I was at the Woodward game when they were playing Milton, and that game was crazy. Like sometimes I'm trying to record, but my adrenaline is too high. I'd be like, I'm trying to watch and record, so I almost kind of missed the shot that he made because like I'm trying to see it in real life. But no, he's really good. And then like the poisonous, because like they were down like 17 in the second half of that game. So like the execution, the way they're able to stay so poised, and like, you know, Jarvis Hayes coming up in those big moments. So I really like him. Can't wait for them to come to Lake Point because he hasn't been there yet. But when Under Armour comes to Lake Point, he's going to be playing with the Atlanta Express. So I'm excited to see him. You also mentioned Chase Lumpkin. Yeah, like I feel like it's a lot of like silent killers this year. Like a lot of like, guys that aren't like loud or like flamboyant or like big on social media. Like their social media profiles of these guys that real like low key, real silent killers. Oh, Naz is, I don't know if it's Nas or Naz.
Yeah, Nas is crazy, bro.
I didn't know he was so young, like, because he played in our Battle for Georgia, and like he just has the presence of a player that's much older than he is. But he like, I feel like by the time he gets to a senior, I feel like he's gonna be one of them like names that everybody's talking about nationwide.
100% agree. And then I just want to ask just one more thing on the high school tip. Just who's the best player you've ever covered, or have you just seen in person?
High school. I want to say, man, I have so many people that I like, because I mean, it's be guys that's like, they're not like highly recruited. Like they're not like the name, but I feel like they are him. I would say it's between Stephon, Castle, and Scoop for me.
Wow. Okay. Hey, those are some good names.
Yeah. No, those are definitely some good names. I really like watching. One of the players I really liked watching lately was Silas Demery.
He's good.
Yeah, like he was really fun to watch. Like Stephon Castle, I mean, Stephon was amazing because he's one of those like guys that was like real low key, you know what I mean? Like real quiet with it, you know what I mean? He was a lot of fun to watch, but like the last player I think I probably watched was probably Silas Demery. Was probably one of the last like fun players. But I mean, that Scoot era,
don't imagine
that Scoot era, and like when he was playing with Game Elite, like they always came to our Rise events. So like I saw a lot of Scoot. So yeah.
Okay. So Scoot. So all right. So we got obviously said Scoot, Stephon. So you thought that the NBA Rookie of the Year was well deserved for him?
Yeah, like I love because Stephon, like his family, like they're so nice. Because Stephon played in a bunch of our Rise events, and his dad was a coach for the Atlanta Express. So I saw him a lot. I would see his family a lot. I interviewed him like 3 or 4 times. And he just seemed like an amazing kid. Like his parents seemed so amazing. So it was just really good to see, like watching him shine right now. It's like, I can't believe I watched him in high school. Like, it's just crazy. Going to UConn, winning the championship. Like, that's one player where I'm like, I love to see him winning because he was just such a great kid, like to cover, like very humble, and you don't have to be humble. That's not a requirement. You know what I mean? But he was like very humble. You know, sometimes as the media, you know, sometimes, which is fine, some players don't want to talk to you, which is cool. But he was, it's their own, you know what I mean? It's their own prerogative. But no, he was like always very good, like talking and like with me, like anytime I want to interview, like and then when after he went to UConn, he came back to Rise because the Atlanta Express team, which still has some of his teammates, were playing in one of our tournaments. And he was like, "Hey, Symone," I was like, "You remember me?"
That's what's up. That almost be the best feeling because you don't think they remember you, but when they do,
right? I was like,
crazy.
"Okay, hey," but no, I really love seeing Stephon, like, especially because I feel like Stephon didn't get the notoriety like on the high school level.
Yo, he's underrated. Like,
yes,
I thought so too. Like, he was a baller. He was so underrated.
Because like just looking at the gym, like when Scoot was in the gym, packed out.
Mm-hmm.
When Ace Bailey was in the gym, packed out. When Cooper from McKeecher, what was his name? Sharif Cooper. When he was in the gym, packed out. You know what I mean? It was just not the same vibe with like Stephon's games. That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like he was so underrated. And it's like it's so good to see him shining like that.
Nah, 100%. I think my co-host ready. Bring him on. Hey, Bacon, she ain't got much time, man. So you only got a couple questions, man. Make it quick. She got things to do, people to see.
Maybe the kids. I understand. So I'm coming with the fire, man. So I got to ask you, Symone. Eagles fans are known for throwing snowballs at Santa. So how did you know what I'm saying? Are you throwing snowballs at Santa in your spare time around Christmas?
No, see, I'm one of the Eagles fans. Like I have a mouthpiece on me. I'm not going to get physical, even though I'm not gonna cuss nobody out, but like I'm gonna stand my ground. You know what I'm saying? I'm not somebody who approaches somebody first. If you come at me sideways, which a lot of people do in Atlanta, these Falcons fans, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm a talk my talk. I'm not one of them people that's like flicking people off or, cussing people out even though I do condone that behavior. We need those people. You know what I mean? We do need those people. So I appreciate the Eagles fans that do act rowdy. We need that. But I'm not rowdy. You know what I mean? But I will stand my ground if I have to.
Nah, I understand. We definitely gonna see y'all. Now I know you know what I'm saying, you watch the draft across the board and you see the right bird at the top. So we'll see y'all down the line. See, I got the hood the last time.
That's what I'm saying. Like Falcons fans, I'm assuming you're a Falcon fan.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all be worried about the wrong thing. You need to be worried about the Saints. You need to be worried about the Bucs. Like you shouldn't even be talking to me right now about the NFL. Like that's my thing with the Falcons fans. Like y'all won one game and then now y'all think y'all have a reason to talk to us. I don't get it.
We just, we under a different regime. Fontenot's in. We got a brother at the helm. You know what I'm saying? Raheem Morris.
He's been at the helm and he's been doing what?
What you mean? We had a good year last year. We had a good year.
He was on the hot seat.
It's two different categories of Falcons fans. You got the Falcons fans that know, and you got the Falcons fans that just want to know that real emotional. Man, they still hung over on that Matt Ryan juice. You know what I'm saying? We got a brother. We got Penix Sam. Give him out a year. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna even on out. You know what I'm saying? Long we beat the Saints, which we shouldn't have no problem. We should sweep the division. Now Carolina, I'm a little worried about.
Yeah, Carolina got some pieces now.
Come on now, highest grade draft.
Yeah,
I had a good draft, but nonetheless, I don't want to just go back and forth with you about the Birds.
Yeah, we'll say that for September.
100%. But I gotta ask you, myself and Najeh, we always talk about how there's not a lot of mentors in the game too tough. You know what I'm saying? For a person who has ascended to a level as yours, being on different platforms, ESPN, MLB TV, HBCU Game Day, Rise. What has been your process to find a good role model and person just to confide in and get advice from?
So one, I'm in a mentorship program that's like a structured program because you have mentors that's not like in an actual program. So I am in a mentorship program. It's LaChina Robinson's program. She for the past 5 years, she's brought in like 5 women. each year, and it's like a structured program where we go to like games like in Atlanta, get reps. She's actually giving us like hands-on feedback like on site and stuff. So that's been huge for me, like when it's come to like my stand-ups, delivery, and then obviously just having her mentorship and her expertise and guidance. Like that's been huge for me. Other mentors that I've had, like Tiffany Green is one of my mentors. Really just following her on TV, like been a fan of hers from afar, and then like once I got a chance to meet her, just kind of like clinging on. So honestly, one big thing, like I'm in a structured mentorship program, but honestly, when it comes to like finding mentors, just kind of like finding those people that you respect their work, and then once you get an opportunity to be connected with them, honestly, like you got to just cling on to people. And you know what I mean? I've met a lot of people that are like open to mentorship, and it's not always formal, but whenever you can, like have that person that you can send your stuff to, get feedback from, ask advice, like that's like it's huge. Like so I hope everyone can find somebody like that in the space.
100%. So like I gotta ask you, what once you get to the cream of the crop, the top level, what would be your plan if you put any thought onto it, just how to like make it more accessible for just mentorship for the next upcoming Symone?
In what way?
Of just like maybe like a formal training ground for like coming out of high school. Like we coming out of high school, there's nothing really there. It's more like you go find something and try it out.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, I have people that reach out to me now. I'm not like an expert, or I'm really good at content, but I'm like still growing like in like as a sideline reporter and things like that. So I'll have people that reach out to me, like college students, some high school students. So I try to give them advice where I can, and I don't want to mess nobody up because I'm not an expert. You know what I'm saying? I'm still learning myself. So I'm always cautious, kind of sometimes I'm giving feedback, but anytime anybody reaches out to me, like I always make it a point to follow up with them, be a resource for them. So that's something I'm very intentional about, because obviously I needed that and I still need that to this day. Whenever I can be a resource to anybody, I always try to.
Bacon, we gonna leave it there. She does have to go. She told me 9 p.m. So I don't.
I mean, we can do 10 more minutes since he just got here. Yeah.
I want to be respectful of your time.
No, I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Bacon.
All right. So Miss Symone, I know Najeh already asked you. I was kind of listening on the way up here, but I got like you said, you juggle a lot. You know what I'm saying? I saw you at Morehouse. You're always doing something, you know what I'm saying? You in Birmingham. Actually, let me ask you before I ask you that, just what's your perception of the G League? You know what I'm saying? You always down there with Squadron.
Yeah, so that was my first season doing G League. I really liked it. I was working with the Squadron only, but the Squadron, like their staff was amazing. Like the team was amazing. The players were really good too. As y'all know, like in media, you don't ever know what you're going to get with certain players, but all the players were like very accessible. They were like very open to having a sideline reporter and doing those interviews. The coach is amazing. Coach Saint, like he was very open and he really enjoyed like having a sideline reporter on the broadcast, because that was their first season they had a sideline reporter. So that experience was really, really great. I really enjoyed it. Definitely like grew a lot through that experience as sideline, like just getting more comfortable doing the stand-ups. Always feel really comfortable doing the interviews, but sometimes like the stand-ups can be a little inconsistent, but like that experience really helped me get more consistent with the stand-ups.
For sure. Then like, how do you juggle it all? I think that's the thing I really want to know.
I mean, I was telling him, like I'll be working 24/7. Like I really be working all day, like sun up, sun down, literally. Like, because as y'all know, like you got to be out here in the streets. Like you got to be doing stuff. So honestly, just shoot, I ain't got no kids right now, so it's just all about the work.
I like that. It's all about the work for sure. You know what I'm saying? Sun up to sundown. So then my next couple of questions, I know, you know what I'm saying, you said 10 minutes now. I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, your generosity. But just Why journalism for you? I'm saying, what drew you to this?
I always really loved sports. Sports was the only thing I was really honestly ever passionate about. So when I was, finishing high school and I was going to college, I was like, the only thing I was interested in was honestly sports. Like I've always been a huge NFL fan, big, like my family is like huge sports fans, huge football fans. So that was the only thing I was really passionate about. So when I went to college, I went to NC State for undergrad. I was like, okay, let me do sports management. It's got sports on it. Okay. So when I was doing sports management, I was doing all different kinds of things, marketing, operations, athletic training, finance. And I always really like talking about sports. So like I'm yapping and talking about sports all the time. And like my friends, peers, professors, they all like, you need to be talking, you need to be talking about sports and you have your own platform. I also really, really, really love writing. Like my mom, she's a lawyer, but she's also a writer. Like she writes a lot of law books, legal, like she writes a lot of legal books. So like growing up, I really love writing, creative writing. I like doing like historical pieces. I like just really enjoy writing. So once I found out that like writing was a big part of like being a sports broadcaster or whatever, I was like, okay, this, could actually do something. So when I was like a senior in college, I knew that like I kind of wanted to do sports broadcasting, but I wasn't really kind of taking it serious because I didn't think it was honestly possible. So I wasn't even really going to try because it just seems like something that, nobody really gets to do.
Yeah.
So I was really going down like the business route. Then I did an internship right out of college. I did an internship with the Atlanta Dream, a front office internship. And through there, I was kind of getting more exposed, just being in Atlanta, just getting more exposed to like the sports industry and like the broadcast side and all of that. So then that's when I was like, you know what, YOLO, life's short, you young, just go ahead and try something. So then I started writing for the newspaper here, the Atlanta Voice. So through there, I was like, covering Falcons, Hawks, all the teams. And like I said, I really love writing. So like, I'm just in my bag doing all this. Then started getting some on-camera opportunities and pretty much just gone from there.
Busy. What was the most memorable moment from working with the Dream?
My boss at the time, he was really, really, really cool. Like he was very like, he was so hands-on when it came to like me. Well, first of all, I didn't even get the internship at first. So basically I applied for the internship, didn't get the internship. Brian is his name. So then I'm like, first of all, I'm not somebody that like, no, that don't mean nothing to me. You know what I mean? Like I'm a resilient type of person. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I just have some resiliency about me. That's what people say is good about me. So he was like, no to the internship. Mind you, at this point, when I was in college, I was pretty much getting, I wouldn't say I was getting whatever I wanted, but I was getting hella opportunities in college. Like I did an internship with the Charlotte Hornets. I was doing so much stuff on campus, you know what I mean? So I'm like, my resume got declined. Like, what?
Right.
So he, when I didn't get the internship, I messaged him, and the typical thing where you're like, oh, thank you for the opportunity. And I said something along the lines of, if you could provide some feedback or something on why I didn't get it, so I can have some guidance, something along the lines of like, thanks, let me know what I can do in the future. And then he did some long email back. He was like, oh my goodness, nobody ever followed up after a no before, like some long email. I just sent the standard little thanks, let me know what I can do better. And then he basically made a position for me with the Dream. So
tough.
Yeah, so I started doing that. And like I said, when I was with the Dream, that's when I like started learning more about like LaChana Robinson, who is now my mentor, who does a lot with women's basketball. That's when I met so many people that were kind of telling me about the media process, like the journalism process. So I really got exposed to a lot really good.
For sure. Savant and a businesswoman. I love to hear it, Miss Symone, for sure. Am I froze? Well, if you can hear me, I think I'm a little frozen visually. But what's your top 3, female journalists in the game?
Current? You froze.
Yeah, current,
That's tough. I mean, I'm biased towards like NFL. Are we saying like journalists as reporter or just any like broadcasting? Like, because the word is used kind of loose.
Yeah.
Good point.
Let's do reporter.
So I love who I'm enjoying right now, like reporting wise. I love Kay Adams. Obviously I love the NFL and the spicy interviews. She be getting them, like the sound bites. She be getting the sound bites. So I love Kay Adams interviews. Love Taylor Rooks. I feel like she's like the basketball version. Like Kay Adams is like NFL version, and she's like basketball version. But definitely like having people comfortable, great at listening, and just so prepared. Like when it comes to the questions, like just extreme preparedness that Taylor Rooks has. And poisedness, like in any environment, any situation, like always poised. I feel like that kind of goes unnoticed when it comes to her. So definitely Kay Adams NFL wise, Taylor Rooks NBA right now. Reporting, I'm trying to think of somebody else for a different sport, maybe. One of my mentors actually, Isis Young, she works for CBS. She does analyst and she does reporting work, but she's trying to get more fully on the analyst side. But again, when it comes to like presence, like she has a very captivating presence. She's always poised, and it's just always seemed like she in control. Like y'all know when they're always like, as a reporter, like you controlling the interview. You know what I mean? Like she's very poised and very in control of like the interviews. So she's definitely somebody that I like to pick their brain, get feedback from.
Great answer. Last one, we'll let you go. Just what I like to ask everybody who comes on the show, man. What advice? What would you tell? What would you tell your younger self? You know what I'm saying? At the place you're at now, what would you say to that younger Symone?
That's a hard question.
It's good.
It's a hard question because like I'm still doing like I'm like I don't know. I don't know what I would say because it's like I'm still in the work mode. I feel like that's the kind of question where it's like you done made it to the top and like you look
reflecting.
Yeah. Like I'm still in the trenches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna say, we still in the trenches.
Keep going. I feel you know what I'm saying. It's an honest answer, and I can't complain. I'm gonna throw the nod to
but yeah, definitely keep going.
There you have it. Well, Symone, we just greatly appreciate your time. We know you're super busy. Definitely love you have on the pod again. Whenever you have free time and you can talk Philly. I'm a Bengals fan. I know that's gonna sound crazy.
Yeah, that's random. Wasn't expecting that. I was gonna ask, but I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, so I love to just talk NFL ball with you, and just obviously, we cover the high school realm too, just with basketball, and just pick your brain. But I know you got to go, so we'll catch up. I hope you enjoy your game night, and we'll talk soon.
All right, appreciate y'all.
There she goes, Symone. Probably, man, one of the most underrated best in the game right now, man, for sure. She's definitely all over, man. I want to pick her brain some more and just ask her about she got so many just different things set up, just opportunities and networking, man. She's definitely at the top of the game, man. But just appreciate her sharing a little bit of her time, man. Just to talk about her journey and obviously the Eagles and what she's been able to do.
Nah, absolutely. Definitely somebody who always, what I'm saying, when I speak to her, like she said, she's still on the grind, but always someone who's easy to talk to, super chill, super humble, good vibes, you know what I mean? She be all over the place, like, what I'm saying, place to place. But yeah, man, definitely, I know she got a lot of good game to give. She definitely dropped some gems here today for young and even us. Even we get the nose, be resilient, move forward with grace, and you'll be surprised what comes back to you. So yeah, definitely top 5 interview we have on the show for sure.
100%, man. So shout out to Symone again, man. But that's gonna wrap up this special edition pod. Hope y'all enjoyed, man. We'll have some content coming out later on. Obviously on the pod, and obviously me and Bacon was around today, Friday night. We hit I hit Brookwood, he hit Stockbridge, or we both hit Stockbridge. So we'll have some stuff coming out on the channels later on, man. But appreciate all the love and support from everybody, man. And we'll catch y'all soon, and we'll see y'all on Monday for our football sizzling news podcast. So we'll catch y'all then, man. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Get some rest, man, and we'll catch y'all soon. Peace.